So, hello. It's been a while. Um, I already forgot the whole point of the series, but I know that in the last video I talked about ideal day, and I wanted to make a couple of comments about that exercise. So, first of all, I'll share what I was taught about that exercise. So, when one does that exercise, the most likely outcome is that as we imagine going through this ideal day of ours, we get to feel or get in touch with the feelings that those events would produce. And I think that's worth noting, right? Because whenever we convince ourselves that we want something to happen, whether it's a promotion at a job, or quitting our job, or finding a relationship, or improving a relationship, or having a certain kind of health status, or whatever it may be, when we really think about it, what we're really after is the feeling or the interior experience of that event. Yeah. So, for example, if we accomplished, let's say we think we've convinced ourselves that we have a goal of making $10 million, and we make $10 million, but we actually feel very depressed about it, then it's not much of a goal. It's not much of a endeavor, is it? We'll be like, wow, I wasted 10 years of my life trying to make this 10 million, and now I'm completely depressed. And I think many of us experience this. This is akin to, or it's not akin to, it's what's captured in the comment made by Joseph Campbell, where he says, many of us climb the ladder of success only to find that it's been leaning against the wrong wall. And that's a very sad place to be, because when we see that very clearly, what we realize is that we have to now climb down the ladder, look for a better wall to lean our ladder against, and that looking takes a while. Well, the grieving and the self-regret takes a long time, and then the climbing down the ladder, then looking around for the new wall, placing the ladder against the new wall, and having the courage to then start climbing this new wall. But anyways, that's beside the point. The main point about that exercise is that when we think about this ideal day, we actually get in touch with the kinds of feelings that we anticipate feeling. And one thing we can realize is that it's that feeling or the interior experience of the event that we're imagining that we're truly after. And yet, in imagining it, we already have the feeling. In other words, we've already accomplished the goal in imagining it. It's not the goal maybe 5 years into the future in our minds, and maybe 10 years into the future in our minds, and yet the essence of the goal that we're in pursuit of is actually has already arrived. It's already here. I think that's a lovely thing to recognize, that we can already get to the goal in the moment in imagining what that goal is, or what that dream is, really. Maybe I prefer to use the word dream here. And so that speaks to something else, which is that if one is imagining one's ideal day, but there isn't this inner sweetness, or this happiness or joy, or this lovely quality inside, then I would suggest that that's the wrong dream, that's the wrong goal. So in other words, if I'm thinking to myself, for example, oh, I would like to work really, really hard and make $10 million, or I would like to, I don't know, try really hard and find a person, a partner, life partner, and be with them. And I start imagining what that life would be like and what the day would look like. So for example, I imagine like, oh yeah, we get up next to each other, but the thought of getting next to each other produces no real discernible joy or happiness or peace. Then I would say that's not a genuine dream. It's probably, I would suggest, it's an idea that the culture or our upbringing has installed in us. And we've somehow co-signed that, or allowed ourselves to become persuaded and convinced that that's actually our goal and dream. But in fact, it may not be. Right? So you hear people especially in their 30s and 40s, wake up to the fact that I've been in pursuit of all these dreams and goals that were never truly in sync with my heart. They were never truly in sync with my soul or deep with my being. And pursuing them and accomplishing them has gained me zero or very little fulfillment. So this exercise of an ideal day has like two sort of purposes almost, or two sort of opportunities for insight. One is the first comment I made, that the feeling can be accomplished in the moment. And the second, and I'll say a little bit more about that, but the second is that if the thought of accomplishing that or having that in our ideal day, some event or occurrence or some status, doesn't produce that inner joy, perhaps that's an image that we've sort of bought into through culture, through society, largely through advertisement, media, social media nowadays. Yeah, and so these are false goals. These aren't actually true dreams. And so I'll just leave you with those thoughts, and I'll continue in another video.